don't know whether to start with an Andy, or a Nicki.
So y'all, right after we finished recording, I mean, we had like the video uploaded, but then we get this news that Nicki will actually be helping Andy host the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. And I was like, you know what? We got to go back and address this because we know y'all going to talk about what y'all think about Nicki. So yes, we're going to start off the video with this.
I feel like this is a chance for her to show us something different, to show us, can she hold an interview? Can she ask questions and get the answers that we need? Now, is she going to get the softball questions, or is she really going to go in?
It's going to be a Wendy Williams situation where it's like she can't even answer the hard questions geared to her. Because let's not talk about the husbands. Like a certain housewife said, let's talk about the husbands.
Her husband is as sore of a spot as Gabrice and Gabrice's.
I do mind Nicki hosting, but my problem is Potomac was a good season on its own. These women, however we feel about them, they brought it as an ensemble cast. We didn't need Nicki's presence for this, so now it's just taking away from the season. Like, save Nicki for Atlanta or New York, like a struggling franchise. But you know what? It's going to help either way. It's a win-win for the network. This is going to be must-watch. You know how her crazy fans are. So now we're going to have two toxic fan bases, the Candice stans and the Nicki stans.
I just hope Nicki is really able to give. And I wonder how long her segment's going to be. Now, you know, this is going to prolong the reunion. So we've got a 4-part of Potomac. I'm just letting you know now.
3. I think it was enough for 2. Now they can justify 3.
They were already giving us 3. I could see them pushing it to 4. Even if we don't agree with it, they still don't have Atlanta ready. They've been struggling to get Atlanta ready. So every episode that can, push that a week away, they're going to take.
I don't know. I mean, you already have the Barb starting to like rewatch season 6 just so they can catch up, so they can see their fave help host. I hope it's just like, she's coming on for part 3 and that's it. I hope she's not there for the entire thing. If she's there for the entire thing, I'm going to be over
it. I think she's going to be there for part 2. They're not going to give it to us in the first part. Maybe towards the tail end. You know how Bravo is. They're going to wait until like that second to last commercial break. They're going to bring her out. It's going to be softball questions. And then at the beginning of the part 2, that's when she's going to come on, and we're going to see if she's going to ask the hard questions and really try to get into it. Is she going to read the ladies? Because Andy never really reads them. Andy might give them a light reminder of what they did on camera, but Nicki, I could see Nicki, getting a little attitude from Giselle and quickly reminding her who she is. That I would like to see.
I don't think she's going to get any attitude from Giselle because she already like talked to Giselle or whatever, and like her daughters love Nicki. Like, I think if anybody Nicki would bump heads with, it would be Mia or Ashley or Scala.
I think Scala is playing it too smart to get into it with Nicki. I could see Mia and Nicki maybe having a little clash because Mia likes to get slick with anybody. And I could see Mia being like, you know what? I'll go on and get slick with you because heifer, you ain't coming back and you ain't my boss. That's another thing. Nicki may be Nicki, but she don't sign their check in this household, so they ain't gonna care. With Andy, it's like they'll go there, but they won't really go there other than when Teresa pushed him down, and that was just good TV. But they're not going there with Andy. I mean, the most shade he's gotten is, oh, that little check. I can't wait to see what she brings. I think that this is a great way for Bravo to make reunions more interesting with the celebrity host. We need somebody asking them the questions where they can get buck with you too, rather than you always have to, keep it cute to keep it fed.
Well, Bravo, they foam at the mouth when they know that an A-list celebrity loves like the Housewives. So
I know Rihanna loves the Housewives, but we're talking about Nicki Minaj, not A-list.
I think she's still A-list. It's on my asshole list. That's the A-list too. But she's A-list to me.
She's A-list to you. She's on A-list for me, all right. She's on
she,
A-list, but not my A-list. When I think of A-list, I'm thinking Halle Berry, Viola Davis, Missy Elliott. Eve is a solid B.
Nah, like Nicki Minaj is super influential, super. So I can't take that away from her. She's an asshole.
Super influential. Super.
Yeah.
You mean Lil' Kim is super influential, and she was the first one to really get out there and copy that blueprint, like just put some tracing paper over it and copied that blueprint. And that was it. Is that what you're talking about? Influential? Wait, or taking Gaga's style also and mixing it with Lil' Kim's. Is that what you're talking about with influential? Well, is that what you mean? The copying and the following in the footsteps of others? Is that what you're talking about with influential? That influence?
Well, you're talking about originality and setting the blueprint. That's what Lil' Kim did. But I'm just saying that I'm not biased. I have a lot of things to say about Nicki Minaj, but she's A-list to me, and she's an icon, and she's super influential. I gotta give that to her.
I mean, she does have a fan base that will get her song to the top of the charts for a week.
She has the #1 song on iTunes with that little white girl that likes the black fish from Lil Mix.
Well, if that's influence, then I guess that's influence.
Just saying.
But I hope she does well. I hope she makes it interesting. I hope she brings something new to these dry reunions.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reunion didn't need her, but add one more clown to the circus. That's our thoughts on Nicki being the host. So enjoy the rest of the show. Well, New York here has been amazing. The weather. Let me turn this down.
Hey, it's not the grinder noise, so it's not that embarrassing.
Oh, right. I mean, I didn't have any notifications like all morning. And now when I hit record, that's when everything's like going crazy. Anyway, New York has been great. The weather's been lovely. I've had a very fulfilling week. Like I've been going out in the city, just like I saw Erykah Badu concert. I saw Tinashe. I saw JoJo. Yeah, Tinashe had a neck. But I've been enjoying the weather so far. It's beautiful right now. I can see it like my little window right now. This week, the topics have been dry than Andy Cohen's skin. It really has. Let's start out with, did we talk about the Super Bowl lineup?
No.
Okay, I feel like we didn't cover that last week, but the lineup's been announced, and it's like Rock Nation that's in charge of the halftime shows now. So it's going to be Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Dr. Dre, and Kendrick Lamar.
Eminem and Dr. Dre still perform?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't performed in a long time, but I'm here for it. I guess they want to bring back the Black audience because of the whole
anti-protest bull.
Right, exactly. So I guess they're trying to bring the Blacks back.
Well, they can try. I won't be watching. I like Mary J, but I'll wait till she's on the BET Awards. Snoop Dogg is everywhere. So as long as you catch a commercial, you will run into Snoop Dogg. Eminem, I don't want to see him unless he's back in his heyday. He's got too much makeup on for me. Like he looks ghastly now. He looks sickly now. I don't want to see that. And Dr. Dre, go pay your wife.
Yeah, Eminem has all that money. He's just been looking a little ghoulish lately.
Very ghoulish. Like, can't you get some sun or some sunless tanner? Because if you're going to put on makeup, at least put on something that gives you a little color.
I mean, but
I guess so.
I'm excited for Mary J. Blige. Hopefully she gets a long segment.
She needs to be the star of that show.
The rap stuff, yeah, I mean, I like Kendrick Lamar a lot. Not too exciting, you know. I feel like the gays don't have anybody this year.
They really don't. Good luck, because
Right.
we're the ones tuning in for the halftime show. We are your halftime show audience. You have the people that watch football, and then you have the people that tune in for the halftime show. The halftime show is for us.
Right, because it's normally been, how can we get the women and the gays to watch?
Exactly.
We've had Madonna, we had Beyonce, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga. The list goes on.
Well, why couldn't they call Rihanna?
I don't think Rihanna wants to do it.
Rihanna's like, I ain't messing with that music no more.
Oh, speaking of music, Adele is coming.
I saw the teaser, and I have to say, I was disappointed.
It's a teaser. It was like, what, 15 seconds? We don't even know what the song sounds like.
Yes, we do. It sounds like the same crap she's been doing the past 3 albums, Piano Torch songs. I'm sure they're good. But I just wanted her to experiment with a new sound, like she's experimenting with a new look. Like, she got them Beyonce nails just waving in the wind, makeup all done, lips just as full. She got brand new lips. That's a good lip job. I'll tell her, she got them as close to mine as possible. She really did. She said, I'd like the Rodgers 4s, please.
But you never know. Like, you never know. Like, this was just one song, and she loves to put out that first single as something familiar for all of us. Like, I am an Adele fan. Not gonna say stan, but like, I love Adele, and she's just such a cool personality. And then, who is bringing ballads to the #1 spot on Billboard? No one. When has the last ballad been #1? Exactly.
Thank you, next.
That is not a ballad. That is too fast. You can dance to that, like a ballad, where you just stand at a microphone and sing. Not when you do like a whole "thank you" next. Like, no, hello, it's me. Like,
you're like, nope, stand there and sing. Okay,
right.
All right. She is our new Celine Dion.
And speaking of which, this just came out like a few minutes ago. So this is Adele for British Vogue. She just released it. Look at this.
Okay, so she's like half Beyonce, half Lana Del Rey.
That's what it's given. Wow. Huh. The titties is sitting. Like, I'm not sure if she lost the weight on her own. Maybe it was stress. Whatever she did, wow.
I think she had that baby, and then just having to run after it all those years burned them pounds right off.
And allegedly, the album's gonna have to do with her divorce. So, you know, we love a sad Adele. Just like Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige is happy, but like, her best songs is when she going through it.
Yeah, I mean, that album after Kendu was good. The album after JoJo was good. So you're right. I mean, heck, Khalees, needed to have a couple good breakups to get a decent album out of her.
I don't know, because Tasty was when she was with Nas. And speaking of Khalees, she's coming out with music tonight. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
And from the looks of it, it's called Midnight Snacks. It's given Tasty Part 2. So I don't know. We'll see.
I wonder what producer she's working with. Since she don't mess with the Neptunes no more.
Yeah, because they stole from her.
That is sad.
She knew them since they were like, kids. Like, that's like you stealing from me.
And we all know that will never happen.
It's such a backstab,
It makes me question, why would you want to get away with that? Why would you want to hurt your friend? Like, I could understand maybe having a disagreement over what percentage I'm owed or what percentage I put in on this record. And maybe I feel I deserve, an extra 10% or an extra 15%. And you think, well, I'm the one out here performing it. So I can understand that type of squabble, but the out and out theft, out and out, just, you ain't getting shit. The out and out, just, you ain't getting shit, Chris. You ain't getting shit. I wouldn't, no. That wouldn't sit right with me.
Right. In other music news, you remember that Megan Trainor girl? Megan Waste Trainor?
I like one of her songs. I like one, but one only.
Was that All About That Bass?
No. If I Was You, I'd Want to Be Me Too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's a cute little when you need to remind yourself who you are song.
But she's in the news for something very strange. So she reveals that she and her husband have 2 toilets next to each other in the bathroom.
Like just 2 freestanding toilets?
They're directly next to each other. They said that they have toilets installed next to each other so they can go to the bathroom at the same time. So for more clarity, nobody knows this, but in our bathroom, there was 1 toilet. And a lot of times in the middle of the night when we're with the baby, we got to pee at the same time. So I was like, can we please have 2 toilets next to each other? She said her contractor initially laughed at the request, assuming it was a joke. But she doubled down and was like, yeah, her bathroom now has 2 toilets sitting side by side. What happened to just waiting? You can't just wait? It takes them that long to pee?
No. Some things still deserve privacy. Now, I want 2 toilets in my bathroom, a his and a his and his water closet. So that way you go in, you shut the door, you turn on the little exhaust, you do your business, you come out, you wash your hands. Like I love the his and his toilets. So I was just like, okay, maybe that's what this is.
Side by side.
Strumming along, shitting our song, side by side. You mean like that little side by side Diddy and Richie Rich that Christine Ebersole sang? Like that?
But it's something different when it's like number 2 is involved. Like, no. Are we getting too much into this?
No. Here's the thing. They're the ones getting too much into it. You're never too rich to be nasty.
That is a good point because, you still have people not taking baths. Have you been watching Dancing with the Stars?
No, because it's too long.
I heard Kenya's been doing well.
Well, I'm glad she's succeeding at something. It's about time life threw her a bone. Tuning in to a 2-hour show to see Kenya twirl around for 2 minutes? Nah, I have better things to do. Who else is on? There were a whole bunch of people that we didn't like. Exactly. Dancing with the Stars, it seems to be doing well for her career. Maybe she'll win. But even if she wins, I think she'll manage to mess up the momentary goodwill she'll get.
Yeah.
At least she said when someone asked her about Portia leaving the show, she said, well, if that makes her happy, she should do it. And that was the most mature thing I've ever heard her say. Right?
I was shocked. No shade, nothing.
Oh, she's going to be throwing shade to her all season. She's going to be mentioning runaways and adultery. She's going to throw shade to her through the confessionals, even though it's sad that you're going to have to throw shade to somebody that ain't even on your show. Nick Cannon is trying to remain celibate until 2022. You only got, October, November, December, 3 months? And honestly, nobody was asking you to be celibate. Just wrap it up. We were just asking you to, not father children. You may not have time to actually parent. That's what we was asking. We didn't say stop having sex. We just said stop being irresponsible when you do.
Right. He doesn't. Well, has anybody come after him for child support, though? Because it seems like he has been responsible.
I guess. No, nobody's come after him for child support. He sends them checks out on time.
I think it's just a vanity thing, honestly.
I think a lot of people think it's unfair where it's like, okay, you may send checks to these children, but they're not going to have a father because you're going to be too busy actually working to pay for them. And when they actually need that parental guidance, you won't be there. Your checks will, but you won't.
That's a good point.
And it's like when you have the resources to do that, it's like, is that fair to the kid though?
Right. Just willingly creating a single parent household.
And are they all getting along? Are they going to know their siblings?
Look, I have 7 siblings, so I'm only cool with one.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
it is.
Wow, that's a lot.
No, I mean, I like them, you know, and if I pass by them, I'll say, hey, but, you know, I only check on one of them. Hey, I'm the Beyonce of my family. You know, I be having stuff to do. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. If any of them are watching, it's okay. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't want to get no phone calls. One of my brothers already disliked me. That's a little Chris's business.
50 Cent said he wants to star in a rom-com with Nicki Minaj. Now, one, Nicki's acting ability just isn't there. But 50, you look like her uncle. You look dead on, dead ass like her uncle. Don't nobody want to see Nicki curled up with no almost coot. Now, you may still be muscular, but you give it that Terry Crews like muscular uncle. We ain't gonna say fine, we gonna say muscular. Because you've been a whole lot of things in your sorry little life, 50 Cent, but fine has never been one of them. I don't care if Vivica Fox ate your booty or not. That's between her and her self-esteem.
Well, I gotta admit, around 2002, 2003, he was kind of fine. He was. He was. Everyone was loving that, like, you know, that thug trade look. Like, back in the day.
The second you said trade, that's what turned me off. The second you said, well,
this was 18 years ago. So 18 years ago, he you know, he looked okay.
From the neck down, I will never argue with the man's physique. From the neck down, but that face.
He had like a cute smile a little bit. Like I remember him smiling. He had like that, it was like almost like Stevie J used to be fine. Go Google young Stevie J. He's in the Honey video. He used to be cute. I can understand how he had like Mimi and Jocelyn fighting over each other.
50 Cent, he did have white teeth, but he had beady eyes and bad skin.
I'm just, you know, I'm trying to be fair. You know, I mean, he is a complete asshole. I can't stand him. I can't think of 2 actors that I would not want to see in this movie more than Nicki Minaj and 50 Cent. Oh my God. Well, why? Why Nicki Minaj?
I don't know.
She's been quiet lately.
Well, because every time she speaks, she puts her foot in her mouth and everybody's getting her together. This Kenneth Petty thing really was not the move for her. She could have kept this secret like she kept her sissy Safari. And to go from Safari to this, I mean, you just love a loser.
She loves a loser she can control.
Yes.
She also loves a loser with the record.
Well, that was the problem. Safari couldn't sell a record, and this one can't get rid of his. In Housewives news, Charlie Sheen is finally free of paying Denise Richards child support.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard that she's a little devastated by that.
I mean, what was he giving her, like $50,000 a month or something?
Maybe. I don't know. She had 2 daughters by him, but
Yep.
they're 16 and 17. I mean, look, not to go back to me, but my dad could not wait till I turned 18. So I get it, you know, because he's been paying child support all his life. Yeah, so she might be back on the Housewives. You never know, even though I don't want her back. Where do you want to start first? Do you want to start in Potomac or you want to do Beverly Hills?
Let's start where you are. Let's start where you are in Potomac, and then we'll head on out to where I am near Beverly.
Okay. So we finally get the episode, the salad talk. That was a great episode. I really enjoyed it.
What I really enjoyed was your review when you just threw dramatically the salad.
Look, I had the arugula on the side. I do takes in my reviews, so it was all over my floor. Because I'm a perfectionist. So I just had to get it right. And yeah, Mia retweeted. Well, Mia, she put me on her Instagram story.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I tagged her and she laughed. A lot of people have a lot of thoughts to say on this. And people are just, I respect a difference of opinion. No one is holding Candice accountable. It seemed like the Candice stands aren't holding her accountable for anything. It's like it's all on Mia. And I'm like, I think they were both wrong, but I think Candice kept taking it to a place where it was just nasty,
It really showed Candice's true colors. Like the fact that they brought up, Mia's mother's struggles, and look, if you want to insult Mia, but leave her mom out of it. Her mom's, gone through something. People are making fun of your mother because it's punching up. She's rich. She's rich enough to afford 2 houses, and the issues that she has, she can fix. The issues that Mia's mom has, those are lifelong struggles. So the two are completely and utterly incomparable. It's one thing to make fun of somebody's mom for buying them a house, and it's another thing to make fun of somebody's mom because they couldn't provide housing. One is funny, one isn't. But this really shows Candice as the aggressor. I mean, she literally, Mia was walking away. Candice had been yip, 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 on her the second she walked in. Everything Mia said, she had a passive aggressive, snide little remark to make. And then Mia finally got tired of it and, started snapping. And I think Mia kind of snapped on everybody because nobody was really coming to her defense and saying, Candice, why are you doing this to her? Why are you being so aggressive? There's no point in this behavior. Mia hadn't done anything to you. Now, you might have been mad that Mia was laughing with your mama at your man, but who you really need to be mad at is your sorry ass mama for talking about your husband. That's who you need to be mad at, because Mia wouldn't have had a breath of air if it wasn't for your shitty wig wearing mama. So what you need to do is go find some moist hair for her to put on your head and stop messing with everybody else. That's what you need to do, along with finding your husband a real job instead of being your little flunky, if we talk. But the fact that you are so uncomfortable around another woman of wealth that isn't you, you the one with the issue, heifer, not her.
I just thought that she should have kept that same energy with Giselle and Robin, because they were tee-hee-heeing with her mom as well.
Mm-hmm. Like, she'll never go up against them, though, because she knows I go up against them, I could get off the show.
Right, because, you can't go against 2 OGs, well, 3 OGs, and then kind of be friends with Karen, because she already told Karen at the beginning of the season that she don't trust her. So when you out of it with 4 OGs, like, you're like a woman on an island.
And you ain't interesting enough to be a woman on an island. Now, Erica Jane, she can be a woman on an island next season because she's got enough meat to her story and enough debt on her account where we want to see how this shakes out.
There was a moment when they were in like the bedroom talking, like Wendy was trying to open up the conversation about Mia's mom, but Candice didn't let her get a word in. And Mia even complimented her mom and said, I hope to, I actually aspire to be like your mom. And she's like, well, my mom didn't start at the strip club. I'm like, damn. Like, that was a perfect time for an olive branch. But I think Candice wanted a moment. She knew she was hot. I mean, they were reading Mia down. But I'm just like, I think Candice was she was feeling herself and she wanted to make some good TV. She kept just making it nasty. Like, her elementary reads, like, it's always like, oh, your lips, your big feet. And let's talk about the elephant in the room. Like, she's basically implying that Mia's a man. That's basically what she's doing. And there's a little bit of sprinkle of transphobia in that, but I'm not going to go there. But it's a weak read altogether. But I'm just saying what other people are saying.
Okay, I could see that. I could see where she's like, okay, I'm not gonna say it. If that's something you feel, then that's on you. Okay, I could see that. So now Wendy.
I
Now,
love Wendy this season though.
I love Wendy this season too, but I have to say, in that incident, I needed her to read the room. And Wendy, you are too intelligent, too cognizant to feel like that was the moment when they were both drunk and you had seen them trading jabs. That was not the moment to bring up Mia's mama. You should have let Mia tell that story rather than, oh, I'm going to bring up your mom so that way you feel guilty about what you said. You know, Candice is too immature and that's not how she operates. It's not.
How did you feel about Mia's husband? Because a lot of people was like, oh, if that was Chris telling Candice shut the fuck up, it'll be a whole different thing.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. I 150% agree with that.
It's
It's
different
just
optics to me. It's different
with it already didn't look good. Let me just make that clear. Nobody is co-signing the shut the fuck up. Nobody co-signing that. But had that been a white husband to a black wife, it would be an issue. Because once we took race out of it, then it's just like, okay, he's being an ass. And that's why Mia was like, okay, he's drunk. His words aren't coming out right. And that's why Mia was like, I'm not going to get flustered by this. I might have a conversation with him off camera, but you ain't going to see me sweat on camera.
Exactly. And I just thought it was crossing the line when Candice was telling her, oh, you don't do that in mixed company. Like, you're not even the host.
Oh, I will also say though, now Wendy gonna say, ooh, something's not right in the home. Now, Wendy, you did not like it.
Did she say that? Because I feel like the scholar said that.
She was still, even if a scholar said that, she was still participating in the conversation in the amen section, nodding her head, agreeing with what was going on. Now, as 38 hot as you got when people said that Eddie was cheating and things weren't right in your home, you should have been, shut it down. Shut it down. We don't talk about other people's marriages, what goes on behind their closed doors. We don't speak on. That is the stance that you should have had, Wendy. I need you to keep that same energy because you sure were, even if you didn't say anything, you were all up in the conversation. You was just listening and looking instead of shutting it down, which is what you wanted. You wanted any of the girls to shut Gabrice down when she started talking about what was going on behind your doors. So don't talk about what goes on behind nobody else's, because you was real steamed. You was ready to cut the cameras.
So let's talk about when all the ladies got there and they were in the living room. Well, what's in the kitchen? They was in the kitchen.
Wait, can we talk about the shack?
The shack? What do you mean?
Well, there's so many shacks on this show, but the shack first Gabrice and Gabrice's shack. Do you know what's going on with it? Because you look at it and it's 8 different styles of house on one home.
Well,
you got a Lincoln log, front behind, and then you got stacked stone behind that. Then you've got this west wing. What are your thoughts on her hovel?
She basically made a fun house. Also, what the vacation home looked like is what Giselle thinks her house looks like.
And that vacation house they're at right now, it looks too plantation-y.
It was okay, and I'm glad that they could fit everybody in the same house, but it could have been a little bit more luxurious, just a little bit.
I'm sick of them going to these hovels, because that was a hovel too. That was a large shack to me. I saw them bedrooms and that old furniture. I was like, ooh, place looked like it smelled like mildew. And also, you are housewives. Y'all are supposed to be rich. You're telling me you couldn't find a decent compound with 2 houses on the property? Really? In Maryland? I'm sure Monique would have something nice for you to rent if you had stayed on better terms with her. That's the sad thing. Monique's house, her regular, everyday house where just she lives, where she and her kids lay her head, that is nicer and more spacious and more well decorated than their vacation home. Monique is still outdoing them and ain't even on the show. Girl, you better go ahead.
Speaking of Monique, it looks like Candice has not learned her lesson with her scuffle with Monique. So they were all in the kitchen, and it started with, Mia talking to Ashley because Ashley asked her what's going on. She was like, this girl over here is mean. And then Candice heard and was like, if you're going to talk about me, at least invite me into the conversation. And Mia was like, come on. So Candice gets right here to Mia. And then a scholar comes to Mia too. Like they are tag teaming her at this moment. So they're going back and forth, and we see the hands, and I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. Like I'm getting flashbacks. They put some distance between each other, and that's when Candice first throws a piece of salad in Mia's direction because Mia was trying to walk away.
Mia had completely walked away. She said, let me go get my pimp. Let me grab my pimp. She went into the sitting room, grabbed her coat, walked through the kitchen, bye girl, I'll talk to you later, had ended it. No, you're going to keep going with me. Like, Candice, you had your moment. Why do you need to keep it going?
Right. She was like, you started it. You better learn how to finish. Like she just slid over the counter. And then you saw Karen, right? You saw her face when she said that. Karen knew because she's seen it before. She's seen how this happens. Like, why are you being so hostile right now? Just let it go. She's walking away.
And Karen wants to say all that heat you gave me because I was equal to you and Monique, but now here you are starting the same mess. And if I don't take your side when you get slapped in the mouth because you got too close to somebody, then I'm the bad friend. Okay, heifer. Okay.
And if Karen didn't intervene, I think Mia would have popped her because, Mia said low budget. And then Candice, she said it like she said, well, your mother's low budget. Like she knew at that point already that Mia's mom was a soft point. So she knew already that what she was doing was kind of foul. So then that's when, you get the bloop. And yeah, that's where the episode ended. And I was like, well, she's lucky that salad was tossed at her and not fists.
I think it's time for Candice to go. I think this has proven her immaturity beyond a shadow of a doubt. It's just no longer interesting to watch her antagonize people to the point of physical altercation. And she will also provoke the physical altercation. She threw the first lettuce leaf. She threw the first olive.
I want to read you like a Candice Stan's reply to my video. What do you say to this? Okay, so here's a Candice fan. I personally don't blame Candice for anything. Mia had no business going up to her mother inquiring about her husband who's getting paid for. Now we have to be fair. These women go after husbands all the time, so mothers are off limits. Got it. By you guys' logic, Mia should have gotten knocked out because she did put her hands in Candice's face first. I didn't agree with her throwing that olive, but Mia did put her hands in Candice's face, then it just went up from there. So Mia is no victim, and you can't tell a person how upset they should be. With that logic, then why people are mad at Monique then?
Right. I was confused because I was like, did they mean Monique? Because that kind of sounded like Monique's story.
Right. Like, I really feel Candice did not learn anything. She was crying like, oh my God, like, I can't. You stepping up to this woman who's like 2 times your size. I don't get it. And wait till you see the next episode. They showed like on Bravo, like the first like 8 minutes, like Candice was crying.
After she threw the lettuce, now she crying. She starts the food fight, but now she's crying. And I agree with you. She not only has she not learned anything, but she can't change her image. Now, Ashley, she may still be messy, but Ashley knows how to milk this motherhood, and she's giving us the softer side of Sears. Now, Candice, you did one little scene with them stepchildren, and you think that suddenly you've changed your image. You haven't, heifer. You haven't. You are still the same petulant little girl, except you're 1 year closer to 40, like the rest of us.
So last thing on this topic, a tweet of mine, which was a little controversial. It kind of went viral. It got 1,863 likes and,
Yes.
and over 200 retweets. So I put, and this was just my opinion, rewatching Real Housewives of Potomac, I think Candice is the type of girl that if we were arguing, she wouldn't hesitate to call me the F word. And a lot of people agreed with that. And I was like, I can totally see it. And I'm not calling her homophobic. I'm just saying, I feel like she would want to cut me the best way she thinks she could. And I think she would.
I think that she does go to those basic, simple reads, like with Mia's mom. She heard from production, oh, Mia's mom is a sore subject. So she gonna go after the mama because she thinks that's going to hurt Mia. I don't think that's going to hurt Mia. I think, is Mia upset with her relationship with her mom? Yes. But I think that Mia is way past the point where you could say anything about her mama and it's going to upset her. Now, I could see Mia playing up to the camera, acting like she's hurt, but that heifer ain't hurt. I know a hurt heifer. I know somebody's expression when you say something to them and it really cuts them to the white meat. I know that expression. Mia ain't never had that expression. Mia had a smirk up. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I wanted you to attack me on because that's not going to hurt me. Now, maybe if you went after them kids, that might bother her, but Candice got enough sense not to do that. But I don't think Mia's mom is the soft spot that she makes it out to be. And I see Mia being smart enough to flip this on Candice and make her look like the piece of shit that she is.
Well, in the next episode, Mia is kind of crying. It's a soft spot for her. And she said that if my mom relapses because of what she's watching, then Candice is going to have to catch her outside. She said that verbatim. So
that's the thing. Mia's going to weaponize it.
Oh, so you think she's using that to her advantage? Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. She's going to play it up and play it to the hilt. But here's the thing. Candice gave her the gun. She said, here you go. Shoot me. Assassinate my character. Show me for who I truly am. Here. She gave her that. Candice just could have, done the big feet, big hands read. She said, well, look, I talk about Ashley's big forehead. So if you've got a large, exaggerated feature, I may mention it. And she might have been able to slide on through with that. But going after people's mamas with substance abuse, it's not even funny. This is really the best you can come up with. That just shows your lack of intelligence. But then again, so does your husband. How are you going to marry old and white but not rich? You forgot the most important one. The only thing you're going to get if anything happens to Chris is a child support bill.
Well, speaking of bills, let's pay some bills and hear a word from our sponsor.
That was good. CBD isn't about what you feel. It's about what you don't feel. Stress, anxiety, and pain. CBD has been so helpful for me because it has regulated my sleep pattern, and now I am getting full night's rest, even when I've got a few things on my mind. I put a few drops under my tongue, and I am out like a light. The world falls away, but I wake up the next morning refreshed. No hangover, no addiction, no issues. Feels is a premium CBD that will help keep your head clear and let you feel your best, hassle-free and delivered directly to your door. CBD naturally helps reduce stress, anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness. Place a few drops under the tongue and you feel the difference within minutes. The thing to remember about CBD is finding your right dose is important and everyone's dose is different. 2 drops for you, maybe 1 drop for me. In fact, Feels offers a free CBD hotline to help guide your personal experience so that you find the dose right for you. The customer service team is dedicated to making sure you get the best out of your CBD. Joining Feels monthly membership makes self-care easy. You'll save money on each order and can pause or cancel anytime.
So start feeling better with Feels. Become a member today by going to feels.com/pop roast and you'll get 50% off your first order with free shipping. That's FEALS.com/pop roast to become a member and get 50% automatically taken off your first order with free shipping. That's feels.com/pop roast. So let's go to the West Coast and discuss Beverly Hills. Did you see the season finale last night?
Oh, yes, I did.
That was a filler, but you know what? They've been bringing it all season. I wasn't even mad.
I'm gonna give it to him. And even then, I still feel like the dinner gave. I still feel like Erica being an ass to Sutton, but also hold on, Kyle Two-Face Richards.
Kyle, yes, duplicitous wench.
Yes, yes.
She threw Sutton under the bus not once, twice.
When she said, well, Sutton still feels like you're not being honest about the accident. Sutton said she no longer cared. Like, that's why Erica was so mad. And then her in the bathroom, I don't know why she's doing this. I don't know why. Because you told her she still thought she was a liar, and that gets under Erica's skin. I am not a liar. I am not. Really? Well, none of your stories is adding up. Like, we didn't seen it on film. Like, they'll re-roll the story you just told and then you'll retell it differently and throw an allegedly in. I mean, when she said my story will never change, Tom got into an accident and
yeah, I was like, get your story straight. Get your story straight.
Like, do you need to watch the season over so you remember what you said so you can try to connect the dots? And then Kyle gonna say, she keeps adding these pieces of the story. No, she keeps changing the story. She's not adding stuff at the last minute. She's lying. And I mean, the bending over backwards to believe the bullshit.
But it's one thing in her confessionals and something different when she's in person with Erica.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And then it really turned me off when she heard that Sutton was saying that she still don't believe her. Like, didn't she threaten, like, bitch, I'm gonna pop you or something like that? I was like, what you gonna do?
You want to get socked in the mouth? It's like, honey, you can't afford to hit anybody.
I was like, are you really gonna hit Sutton? Like, Sutton will come for the rest of the shit that you have. But Erica Jane is broke, yet she has her glam team still.
Where is that money coming from? Where is all of her money coming from? Where is the legal defense money coming from?
It's probably the housewives check now.
I get she probably had to go to a payday loan place to borrow against it. She got a man somewhere paying her bills.
I agree. The reunion trailer came out. It debuted on Erica Jane's Instagram.
Yes, and Andy asked her all of the hard questions.
I was shocked. I was shocked. He even bring up, well, I know how much you make. I was like, wow.
He does know how much she makes off that show. That ain't no damn money, not to live in Beverly Hills. California is expensive as hell. I don't know how I'm doing it.
Still though, I mean, don't say you're broke when you're pulling in like over $1 million.
That is still broke in California.
I'm just saying.
Okay, let's see. She ain't making no $1 million. She ain't making nobody's $1 million. I would say at best, maybe 600,000. Taxes gonna take half of that, so now you got about 300,000. You can't live here off $300,000.
I think she's making at least 2.5 million.
That was what Nene was making at the height of Atlanta. Like Potomac, like Monique said, this little check, Erica's making 500,000 to 600,000. The Atlanta girls that was Nene's salary at the height. I think even the Giudice girl only was getting like 1 to 2 million.
Have you seen what the ratings have been for Beverly Hills?
But that was her
a night.
But that was her salary coming into the show. She can't renegotiate mid-filming.
I don't know. Like this season, like I think they wanted her to talk. Well, you know what? I think the allegations came during mid-season anyway. So you're right.
Yeah, her contract was signed before the shit hit the fan. So again, I would say maybe 700,000. You're talking about living in Beverly Hills. Like you ain't talking about a regular 1-bedroom apartment like I have. She's got a 3-bedroom house with a pool and a hot tub in the back. She's got a Range Rover. She still has to pay people that she worked. That's the house on sand. That she is underwater. That little check, she's running a whole business off that check.
Well, another thing that I got from that reunion is who the fuck does Dorit think she's talking to? Let me finish, Garcelle! I've never heard her raise her voice like that at anybody. Anybody. I mean, I get the optics. I'm not going to call Dorit racist, but who is she yelling at like that? Who? Who? I know she ain't yelling at Garcelle like that. And I think Garcelle still ain't going to do nothing, which kind of pisses me off. She would never raise her voice to anybody on Potomac like that, on Atlanta, or Jersey. They would square up on her on Jersey, especially if she came to, who is it? Begins with a D. Dolores. She's from Patterson. Her and Teresa. Those Patterson girls be fighting.
Oh, Lord. Patterson is the white ghetto.
Yeah, so the reunion is going to be 4 parts. And you know what? I might not mind it because that trailer was giving. It was giving. So
I feel like there is enough for all the ladies to be accountable for there to be 4 parts. There's enough meat to the story. There's enough to go over. It's not just, okay, the grilling of Erica. It's also, well, why were you all so fake behind her back? Like Garcelle and Sutton are really the only ones that were like, girl, all the shit we said in the confessional, we said up in your face. You need to talk to Kyle. I will say this, even Lisa Rinna was blind in her loyalty. She said, you know what? I don't care if this heifer says the sky is purple, I'm gonna nod and believe it. And she owned it in her confessional. She kept everything the same. She kept the consistency. It's Kyle and Dorit that are the real two-faced heifers of this season.
But also the Bethany tea, that came out right before the reunion and they brought it up. You remember like Bethany said that like she heard from, well, she told Kyle about it. And then Kyle told Camille about it, and then Camille jumped in. So there's other drama outside of that too.
Crystal, whatever your last name is, I need you to, doesn't matter, cough. I need you to leave the show immediately. You brought nothing to the season except picking on a mentally ill woman. Okay.
To be fair, like Crystal started out strong. She really did. And then when Sutton came after, well, not when Sutton came after, but when Sutton versus Erica happened, she kind of faded into the background for like the rest of the season. Like I felt bad for her, but so she already confirmed with the media that she'll be back for another season. They already asked her back. So that's you know, that's already done.
I'm sorry. The only reason they ain't getting rid of her is because of the optics. She didn't perform well. And she didn't start off strong, if you ask me. She went after the weakest cast member. Really going after Sutton Strat? That woman ain't all there. And she said herself, look, I'm kooky. I've got a freaking bird on my shirt. Like, it is what it is. But to go after her and say, oh, you violated me with the connotation of that word and you want to act like you don't understand it, let somebody say that about your husband. Let somebody say that about your husband and let's see how cute you think it is.
So 1, I was Team Crystal in that fight. And then 2, her husband gives me Epstein vibes. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Exactly. You were what, 18 when you married your husband, or 18 when you met him, 19 when you married him? Didn't he groom you? How would you like it if we started saying, oh, your husband groomed you? How would you like that? The father of your children groomed you. How would you like that? Because that's a real insult to the both of you. How would you like that? You wouldn't.
I think Erica snapped at her at the reunion. So, you know, we'll see. You know, I'm going to give her a chance. I like Crystal so far. So I just think she's staying in the background.
I think Crystal is mean, and that's all she has to bring. She doesn't have fashion. She doesn't have reads. She doesn't have taste.
Oh, speaking of, the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion is filming today.
Oh, really?
Today. Yeah.
Well, good. I guess they realized after New York just didn't have a reunion, they better get on it.
Yeah, so can't wait to see the fashions, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be the topic of our review next week.
Fashions? Oh, God, I'm already getting a headache just thinking about how Gabrissi's going to adorn her neck rolls.
Oh, so on Salt Lake City, I just want to say, like, I actually like the new girl, and she did more in 30 minutes than the new girl Jenny did in 4 episodes. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Sarah Paulson, the chick Angie from Salt Lake City.
Yeah, when you said Sarah Paulson, I got it. I was like, what new chick is Sarah Paulson? She does kind of favor her. And also, they're actually rich. I want to see money. I want to see like, oh, we're just giving away $1 million just like that. I don't want to see that fraud Jen Shah money. And when Jen Shah threw that tennis bracelet and Lisa's trying to say, oh, that was $70,000. Girl, ain't nobody throwing a $70,000 bracelet. Not nobody. Maybe Kathy Hilton would, but Kathy Hilton can afford it. And Kathy Hilton wouldn't do it. Why did Kathy Hilton show up looking like strawberry shortcake at that dinner?
I said the same thing, the exact same thing. She does this chic matronly look. I mean, I don't mind it, but she really does like matronly chic.
Oh my God. It's mother of the bride, but she's got style. Kyle Richards says she'll eventually walk away from Beverly Hills. You ain't gonna walk away. They're gonna push your happy ass out like they did Vanderpump and a bunch of the other OGs because your salary's too top heavy.
Well, Vanderpump says she'll come back if they clean house.
We don't need you back if they clean house, Vanderpump. We want to see you get back good with Kyle. If not, we don't want to see you manipulate a new group of heifers. We don't.
Right. She loves playing puppet master.
Now, I'll say this, Anna from Bling Empire never played puppet master. She just allowed people to play themselves and gave return serve. Now, if you could do that, that would be cute. But Lisa always got to, instigate shit. She's like Joan Collins, but less. Well, she's a wannabe Joan Collins. And shout out to Joan Collins.
Well, I think that's our time because, like I said, this week has been really dry.
I'll see you sooner than Crystal's plotline on Beverly Hills.
And I'll see you sooner than Candice's next low-budget music video.